Murray State head coach Dean Hood. The Racers are going to take on their second FBS opponent of the year. They're going to play at Ball State on Saturday, coming off a home loss to Jacksonville State this past week. So, Coach, just some thoughts on your team, and then we'll go into questions.
Yeah, we're a team that hadn't played very well, for 2 weeks. Played really bad Texas Tech, but we didn't play great this past week. But there were there was improvement. There were some positive things that happened in the Jacksonville State game. Thought we played good defense. We had 75 reps in a game. In the first 62 reps, we played really good defense, and then we were kind of non-existent, offensively. I thought we did a nice job with our guys as far as next man up mentality and guys stepping in for guys that were out, and didn't have a lot of points on the board, but moved the ball and played with a lot of toughness, and was really, really proud of our team, the improvement we made from week 1 to week 2.
Thanks, Coach. If you have a question for Coach, just let me know down in the chat or use the raise hand function, and I will call on you. So we'll go to Jake first, and then John, you can be after him. So Jake, go ahead with your question.
Good morning, Coach. You mentioned you saw some improvement from week 1 to week 2. Normally, that's the time of the year where you see the biggest improvement from your football team is 1 to 2. How do you hope to carry that improvement into week 3 now against Ball State?
That's just it. I think our kids were, we were embarrassed as coaches and as players, Texas Tech, and I think our kids took offense to that and really, tightened down. A little bit of that's the opponent too. Kyle said that we, played our second FBS. I mean, Jacksonville felt like an FBS team, so it feels like we're going into, week 3 of FBS. But I think our kids, rose to the challenge of being disappointed and being embarrassed and played better in week 2. And I think they're going to do the same thing in week 3. There's just they've never been lazy. They haven't taken a lazy step. They haven't not been, paying attention in meetings, but there was a little bit of a different edge, so to speak, after Texas Tech, and seeing the same thing early on in this week.
When you had a chance to go back and watch the tape, what did you see specifically that maybe stood out?
Just like I said, the toughness of our guys with their next man up mentality, especially offensively, honoring guys that were out, how they played. I thought Lucas Maui played great. I thought Tez Brooks stepping in there, playing some quarterback reps, played great. I thought the O-line played really, really well, being locked in arms and knowing that they had to pick up their game in order to give ourselves a chance. And then, had a variety of running backs, as well that stepped in. Q Jennings did a nice job. Cortez Jones, on Northington, just a bunch of backs stepping in and playing to the best of their ability and beyond.
Is there any advice you gave Lucas heading into the game, given the fact that this was his first career start, that he is kind of young and green when it comes to college football?
It's almost a little bit like that, guy that's, couple batters away from pitching a no-hitter or a kicker getting froze out, on a timeout to kick the game-winning kick. It's almost like you don't know how much to say or how close to get to him. I gave him a couple hugs and during the week, and just wound him up and let him go, and he really did a nice job for as much experience as he has.
Dean, for a team that's lost their first 2 ball games, y'all have done something that's very hard to do. Your offense has yet to turn the ball over. You got to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, that's a thing, that Coach Hodges and the offensive staff does a good job of. That's what we pride ourselves in, trying to take the ball away defensively and protect the ball on offense. And they've done that. We got to limit penalties. We've had way too many, undisciplined penalties. So that's something that we got to get shored up, hopefully, in game 3.
How long had y'all been discussing using Lamartez as the Wildcat quarterback?
Well, we had that in, week 1, even when we had DJ as a quarterback, but we had it in week 1, when we lost Jaden Stinson in training camp. That's when we, started working wild horse stuff. We've been working on it, not to that extent. Once DJ went down and we're down 2 quarterbacks, that it became even a bigger part of the offense and worked it a little bit more. But we had worked it in training camp because of the Stinson injury.
You said Maui during yesterday's event at the Big Apple was a little banged up. How did he look yesterday in practice?
Who's that? I'm sorry.
Your quarterback.
Oh, Maui. Yeah, he was hobbling around yesterday, but should be good to go today. He got it taped up and wasn't 100%, but he said it felt a heck of a lot better and he felt stronger. And Fulton's thinks he'll be good to go today.
That's got to make you feel really good considering how the injury bug just continues to mess with this team.
Yeah. It's been something that, we've had to deal with. And unfortunately, we had to deal with it last year down the stretch. And that's something that we keep harping on. Our kids, you want to talk about showing resiliency. I think we had about 17 guys out for the last 3 ball games and won all 3 of those games. So, that's something that we're hoping to build on and look back to give us encouragement that we can do it.
You said Q was hurt. What's his status right now?
He didn't go yesterday, but we'll see, how he does today. He's got a thigh bruise there. So we'll see how he does.
And that was from getting thrown into the bench on that tackle, right?
That's right.
Man, y'all just can't win for losing. I mean, you have non-contact injuries, you have contact injuries. It happens everywhere, doesn't it?
Yep.
Coach, any specifics on Ball State? They played Tennessee in the first week, who was a top 25 team, and then Western Michigan, they had 447 yards offense last week. So just some more specifics on them. Yeah,
they played a 1 possession game against Western Michigan. Looked really good. Quarterback looked good. They got a big running back in Carson Steele. 3 receivers that got 10, 12, 13 catches each. Tight end room is full, man. I mean, they've got 3, 4 tight ends that are all really, really good players. Up front, they got all 5 of their starting 5 or 300-pound kids. So they're a really good team offensively. Defensively, you got 2 linebackers really active, kids with 10, 11, 12, 13 tackles. Secondary, their safeties are real active. Those guys are they're leading tacklers on the team. And they got some big guys in the interior, 300-pounders in their nose and their defensive end. Their other defensive end has a lot of length. So, they've got really good players at every position. Their nickel's a good player. So they got good players at every position. They're very well coached. They're a tough team, like a lot of MAC team. MAC just reminds me of the Big Ten, just really tough, fundamentally sound, well-coached football teams. And they fit that mold.
Coach,
last year. Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
If I may, I think the Jack State defense you faced the other night very well prepares you for another FBS game. Do you not believe that?
Yeah, they were really good. Very athletic, could run. Put a lot of pressure on our guys. I thought our line did a good job picking up a lot of their pressures. But there's no doubt. Every game is going to help in some way, preparing you for the next one. And I think Texas Tech helped prepare us for Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville helped prepare us for Ball State.
Anybody else? Other questions for Coach Hood? All right, Coach. Thanks for your time this morning. Best of luck on Saturday, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay. Thanks, guys.